Hey folks, today's the big day. Wing attachment, top wing attachment on the de Havilland DH10. I drilled 28 holes next to the strut attachments on the underside of the top wing. The holes do not go all the way through the wing. They're the contact points for 28 lines of rigging, model cast and flexible line. I did not use turnbuckles. I don't do that generally with 1/48 scale airplanes. The turnbuckle loops, eyelets are just too small for my tired eyes. So, and I attached those model cast and lines, which were dangling down below, with CA glue. And then the next step was to get them all out of the way, because when I attach the top wing, I don't want those any of those lines catching in the struts, which they are bound to do, believe me. I've learned that from experience. So you see a lot of little pieces of Tamiya tape there on the top side of the wing, because I bring the line around and secure it. And now that's all in place and will stay there until the wing is attached and all of the struts are set and secure. The next step was to put in the center strut. It's a one-piece part, and that also was secured with CA glue. I am letting that dry completely, because that is then going to go in the center groove right here as the first step. Well, actually, that won't happen until I've individually put in all of the struts, wing struts, as well as the engine nacelles with their little struts. And those will all be in place. But the first thing that will be secured will be this piece into that slot. And then one by one, I'll be hopefully just popping in the wing struts. I've already test fitted, dry fitted this wing, flipped over, and everything looks square, but we're a long ways from being finished at this point. Next step, get all of the wing struts and the engines with the nacelles onto the bottom wing. More than a few hours later, it was certainly an adventure getting the top wing fitted. Lots of play in the way that the top wing is constructed in terms of the angle, because there are 3 pieces and there's significant dihedral. And that, of course, means that if the angles aren't perfect, there can be some issues with fitting the interplane or the interwing struts. But I managed to wrestle it into place, and now I think the biggest challenges are over, although the landing gear looks awfully flimsy for this model. I guess I'll cross that bridge in a couple of days. I'm going to leave all of the tape, masking tape, holding up all of that rigging line that is secured underneath the top wing and flipped over. It's going to stay in place tonight. I don't want any of that stuff dangling until I know that this wing is secure and solid and isn't going to move and fall off in my hands. And then I will carefully remove all of that tape, let the lines come down, and start threading it through the corresponding appropriate spots on the lower wing and along the side of the fuselage. That'll account for about 90% of the rigging. There are control lines and stuff that need to run from the back of the fuselage to the elevators and the rudder, of course, and there are a few lines, bracing lines from the forward part of the fuselage back to the wing and of course some on the landing gear. But those are relatively straightforward. Next step, sometime tomorrow, we'll be rigging, actually now attaching the rigging. I may have to open up a few or reopen up a few holes on the bottom wings that might have gotten covered with a little bit of the flexible CA glue, which I must say, I was really pleased with this stuff. It really is far superior, I think, than using extra thin cement for things like attaching wings, where you want to have a strong bond. You don't want the cement melting the styrene as you're trying to get things in place. Anyway, that's just my personal preference. So, getting it done. And yeah, I still have to put the clear plastic, the glass front on down there in the nose, and obviously the propellers and the machine guns, tail skid. But the big hurdle is over now. Glad to get that behind me. Thanks for watching.